Hey everybody, 2 years, multiple reactions of both Sabaton and Tommy Johansson's work and their content. So many questions, 2 sets of tickets, 2 tour cancellations, 2 concert cancellations, and finally yesterday it finally happened. Yeah. We finally got this done. My name is Old School Nerd, and this was Sabaton Day. Okay, ignore the idiot next to me, even though, well, the idiot's me, but this is a vlog. This is the whole day. We're going to go through all the different steps. I've got some little behind the scenes information for you guys. I do have some concert footage, but it's poor taste for me that for a person that has access to concert footage to post it on YouTube. So I do have a way for my Patreons to see some of the videos that I was able to take there, but they will be on Patreon. But this is just the conversation of the day. The amazing Tommy Johansson, the amazing members of Sabaton, but more importantly, the amazing people of the venue, and yes, even security people, and the amazing fans that we met yesterday for this one-of-a-kind experience. And I know I made a video earlier that said you need to see Sabaton this tour. If they're coming to see you, you have to get tickets. You need to see them. And I made that video, and I still believe in everything I said in that video, but I will tell you that I feel even stronger now that Sabaton, after what I saw yesterday and the people I've met, Sabaton is better now than they've ever been, especially here in the United States. So with that, let's get started. This was, well, yeah, we got that done. Yeah. And actually, this is not the one that goes on the wall. The one that goes on the wall is already mounted up there. I've already sent a picture out on social media what it looks like. This actually goes to a fan of Sabaton. So, and that person already knows who they are. They won a contest. We'll talk about that later. Okay. Let's start with the first vlog. This is actually 7 o'clock in the morning to start the day. This is me on my back patio. And with that, well, let's get rid of me. Let's talk to that version of me. Hey everybody, it's Old School Nerd. It's Sabaton Day. Are you going to see Sabaton during this tour? Are you going to bring someone that you love to go see your favorite band, Sabaton, but that person has never heard a Sabaton song before? Do you a favor. Do them a favor. Do Sabaton a favor. Make them a Sabaton cheat sheet. Just go get the set list. It's available online, and you go take all the names of all the different songs, and you put little hints to the side to help your loved one appreciate what's going on. Granted, they're not going to be able to handle it. It's mega super heavy metal from Sweden, but at least they'll know what the songs are about. Let me give you an example. Attack of the Dead Men. World War I. German Jews gas against Russians. They think Russians are dead. Russians not dead. Russians are literally melting and dying, but they attack the Germans and scare the Germans off. Germans think they are zombies. It's not historically accurate, but at least it tells you what it's about. Hey, I'm trying to help you. Love one another, take care of each other. We're all stuck on this mud ball together. Okay, true statement, true story, not gonna lie, okay? Now, before you guys wanna know, I still have the list. I made the master list, and then I made copies of it that are smaller and gave them to fans of the show that had never seen Sabaton before, and I think I helped people. I was actually pretty accurate. I had Ghost Division, okay, Stormtroopers, Bismarck. Look, Bismarck, not the Hood. I mean, that's all I had. Attack of the Dead Men, I told you about that one. Soldier of Heaven, Steel Commanders, Careless Rex, Gut mit uns, that one the crowd went nuts on. Dreadnought, Shiroyama, The Last Stand, Christmas Truce, The Encores, Primo Victoria, Swedish Pagans. They did Highway to Hell and To Hell and Back. And it said at the bottom of it, it says, also surprise songs depending upon how silly they are that day. They added Night Witches. And I gave Chelsea this list. We rode through on our way to Houston for the 3 hours. We listened to all these songs, and she was actually able to read what it was and then She was kind of into it. Now, she didn't know any Sabaton songs. She had seen me do reactions to them. She's heard me listen to the songs before. She loves the people of Sabaton. She loves the band members. She loves everything they do for all of their fans. But she didn't connect to the songs the way that we all connect to the songs. After listening to the songs with the little cheat sheet, she danced the whole concert. Like she was like, after the end of Ghost Division, when they started up, when they started up with Stormtrooper, she's like, hey. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, I'm in. I love this. I went, all right, let's get to the next part. It's time to get coffee. Happy Saturday, everybody. My name is OldSkuleNerd. That's Chelsea Maybe. Right in front of Jet Coffee here in Lafayette, Louisiana. It's October 1st, and that means it's Sticker Day here at Jet Coffee. And there's a line down the highway, just letting you know. So, hey, we're heading to Houston, Texas today. We're going to see Epica and Sabaton at the Bayou Music Center over there in Houston, and we're about to hit the road. Hey, we got 2 reactions for you today. Empress at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, and Noisy, their song Hawaii. You have to see it to believe it. It's a little weird. And that comes out at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Hey, wish us luck and safe travels. We'll give you updates as we get there. Hey, love one another. Take care of each other. We're all stuck on this mud ball together. Get your hand off my butt. Seriously. Come on. Like non-stop with her. No. All right. So it's a 3-hour drive. Okay, so it's 3 hours from Lafayette, where we left there. We get to Houston. It's still really early. It's right around noontime. So we get to Houston and we go to this place that Chelsea loves called Luigi's Pizzeria. It's in Midtown on Alameda Boulevard or Alameda Street. And it's really kind of a swanky place. The next few videos are from that place. Let me go ahead and play those through, okay? So I'm going to go away. We're not even to the good stuff yet, so... Hey everybody, so we made it to Houston, and now we're going to grab ourselves a bite to eat. We're going to stop at a place called Luigi's Pizza. I know, how stereotypical is that? It's on Alameda, just south of downtown Houston. Got a pretty good slice over here, so I'll be taking some pictures and updating on that one. It's kind of interesting little motif, little stylish place there. So yeah, so we finally arrived. Time to kick back, get some lunch, and then enjoy the afternoon. So talk to you guys later. So now it's time to enjoy some lunch. We're at a place called Luigi's. We're off of Alameda Road, just south of downtown Houston. And it's kind of a little pizzeria thing. It's got a little area, and stuff. We're gonna grab us a bite to eat for lunch and kind of enjoying our day. It's a beautiful little place. Great weather today. It's gonna be in the mid 80s, bright blue sky. Can't ask for much better, especially in South Houston, because here it's either really, really hot or it's raining, but neither one today, so we'll take it. All right, guys, we'll see you a little bit later. So the second part of this vlog is going to be nap time with Old School. Difference is I'm not taking a nap. I'm just sitting in these hammocks. There are dozens of these hammocks all around this restaurant courtyard, and after eating all that pizza and mozzarella sticks, I just feel like I need to stop for a second, so I will. But let me tell you a story that's kind of cool. So we drove here from Lafayette, and oh, by the way, that is Black Sabbath playing in the background, so I'm good. So we're driving in from Lafayette. It's a 3.5-hour drive. That's a lot of Sabaton we get to listen to. Now, a lot of you earlier today saw my little update about the cheat sheet that I made for Sabaton people who are bringing a friend to a concert, or they're trying to, they're bringing a loved one or someone who's not a huge Sabaton fan to a Sabaton concert. And one of the things you can do is actually write down a little cheat sheet with the names of the songs so you can explain what's going on. By the way, this is super comfortable. I'm gonna have to dump it down even more. Okay, so now that we've gotten completely vegetized, so we're driving in, and I've got that little the cheat sheet, and we're going through songs. And as we go through the songs, we start off with Ghost Division. We kind of go in order, right, of the set list. I explained to Chelsea like little backstories and stuff, and there's things that she thought were really cool. And then we get to Bismarck, and I start talking about Bismarck because can't help myself. And like, she's, oh, that's really cool and everything else. Now, of all the songs that Sabaton has put out, I'm sure you guys are thinking like maybe the Night Witches or Swedish Pagans, maybe even Christmas Truce would be Chelsea's favorite, but you would be wrong. You'd be dead wrong. Let me explain to you what this woman got into. So we start talking about a song on the list called The Attack of the Dead Men. And before I even tell her, before we even listen to the song, I read to her the story behind the whole song, where the German forces in World War I were attacking a Russian installation, and they used a gas attack. And of course, the Russian troops didn't have any protective gear, so the different gas chemicals began to cause their lungs to bleed and their mucous membranes to burst, and the skin's literally melting off their bodies. And instead of dying, just falling and dying, the Russians just storm the German troops. And she just thought that was the most metal thing ever, and she's right. I mean, and as we were talking about it and we were joking and laughing, I realized that, you know, movies like 28 Days and World War Z and all these zombie movies and The Walking Dead, the thought process of being a German soldier 100 years ago, and to literally see in real life what could easily be determined as zombies, a horde of zombies charging your position, I could totally see dropping a weapon and running for your life. And she just thought that was the most badass thing ever, and I thought, yeah, it kind of is. So her favorite song, or her favorite story of any song so far, is Attack of the Dead Men. So, but so far, these are the things we're discovering as we spend our day together getting ready to see Sabaton tonight. So yeah, it's a little update. So this was sit down nap time after lunch with Old School. She's sitting over there with her combat boots with spikes on them. By the way, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Chelsea maybe has the most aggressive shoes I've ever seen. Well, I really can't. What I'll do is I'll take a picture and post them online. I'll post them on YouTube. This woman has the most metal shoes I've ever seen. A woman who is not a metal fan per se. Like, she's a fan of all music, but she has the most aggressive metal boots I've ever seen for a woman. They're awesome. I mean, I think they're designed by Gene Simmons. I mean, they look like it. So anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna enjoy this background music and this hammock time as we let this food settle. You guys enjoy your afternoon. We'll update you later. Peace. All right, so we're done wasting our time, and we've crossed Houston, and we go downtown to the theater district. And Houston has a really interesting setup. What a lot of people don't realize is Houston, a lot of their parking downtown is underground. In fact, there's an underground network of tunnels throughout downtown Houston that people don't even realize exist. Well, when you go to the theater district in Houston, it's really beautiful. All these beautiful buildings, there's multiple theaters and venues and stuff, but you don't see any parking lots. And the reason why is because they're all underground. So we just got to the venue super early. It was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we parked, and there was nobody in the parking lot where we pulled in. So when I got out of the car, this is how close our parking spot was. You cannot make this up. Watch. There's Chelsea. She's in the truck. She's watching me make a fool of myself because that's what I do every day. Let me show you how close we are to the front door of the venue. I'm going to walk about 15 feet this way, and then I'm going to walk about, I'm going to walk across this little hallway, and then I'm going to go up these stairs. Now, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And there's the venue. Not bad. All right. This is where it gets a little weird. Now, I hadn't heard from Tommy yet that day. I had heard from him the night before, and he's like, dude, I can't wait to see you tomorrow. And I'm like, and I don't know why that every time I quote a message that Tommy sends me on an app, why I have to do it in a horrible Swedish accent, but we're just going to roll with it. So I hadn't heard from Tommy that day, and I figured he might still be asleep. They had just played a show in Dallas, so I knew they were got to be exhausted. So we went on to the back of the venue, and the buses were right there. And so that's what the bus looks like. Anyway, so I'm standing up on the bus, and one of the guy that drives the big rig that hauls the stage and equipment, soundboards, Hans Von Dahl's drum riser, the tank, the whole 9 yards. Okay, that driver of that vehicle was asleep in the cab because he had been driving the night before. He was doing his sleep because he had a drive to Nashville last night. But two things. Number one, on his dash, Slaughtered to Prevail demon mask with the teeth and on his dashboard. Awesome. And he steps out of his vehicle, I guess to get lunch or whatever. He sees me, he goes, aren't you the guy on YouTube? And I went, yeah, yeah. And so we start talking about the road a little bit. Him and I are chatting and stuff, and talking about his huge Tank the Tech fan, by the way. It's like, I love Tank the Tech. I'm like, of course, because he's a roadie like you are, and he's like, man, I'm really happy that his YouTube channel is doing so well. I mean, he gets $5 for me a month. I'm like, me too. So, but he had mentioned, he said, are you looking for the band? Because I don't know, I didn't say I was. I said, I'm just waiting to talk to Tommy, because I knew he was looking for me. Him and I have been talking for a while, and he was hoping to see me today. He goes, yeah, hold on one second. And then one of the other guys was around. He goes, dude, do you know where Tommy's at? You know where the guys are? And the guy said, yeah, they took him to go see a boat today. What? They took him to go see a boat. Okay, so I was like, oh, cool. So I'm thinking they might have put those guys on a power boat or something and took them out in the Gulf of Mexico or something really Texas, it's how we are down here. But I'll tell you what actually they did here in a few minutes. But when I realized Tommy wasn't back and I realized that he was on a boat doing something, I wasn't going to message him. Why? Because he's busy. He's doing Sabaton things. When they do have free time or they do have time for themselves, I want to make sure that they can do that. So I didn't message him. I knew he'd contact me whenever he got back or whatever. Wasn't worried about it. In the meantime, it's 4 hours to doors open. So I was literally trying to find things to do. And I was standing in front of the tour bus and I thought, man, the things that happen on rock and roll tour buses, if the walls could talk. And I went, what if they could? And the stupidest thing I've ever done, ever, is now probably one of my favorite things I've ever done. Watch this. Hey everybody, my name is OldSkuleNerd. I'm out here in the parking lot with the bus for Sabaton, and I thought I'd ask him a few questions about what it's like to have one of the best Swedish heavy metal bands on the road with him. So Mr. Prevost, can you tell us a little bit about this band called Sabaton?
Well, honestly, this band, they're from Sweden.
And no, I did not know that you could see my fat ass in the reflection of the paint of the bus. And no, I don't know why I gave the bus a Texas accent, because they leased it out of Nashville, Tennessee. So again, just as always, Old School Nerd is incorrect again.
Sweden, they're European. There's some good boys. I mean, that guy Tommy, he can sing like a songbird, and they're always talking about like history and stuff. And I learn a lot just from them guys riding up and down the road inside my belly. That's awesome, Mr. Prevost. Is there anything in particular that you could share with all of us that is your favorite part about getting to know these guys on the road the last few weeks? Well, being from Texas, I was telling them, man, you guys are going to really enjoy
so stupid.
when you get to Houston, all the cool stuff we do here. They're enjoying themselves. They really are. Well, that's awesome, Mr. Prevost. We appreciate you. Again, come see Sabaton tonight. The bus says they're really good guys. So we'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, so this is where things get interesting. And this is where my entire day turns, okay? I have a philosophy whenever I go to see a concert for a band. If the band or an artist contacts me and they want to talk to me or meet me or do an interview or even just talk about the YouTube channel, whatever, that's 100% on them. I don't solicit that. I don't ask for that. If it happens, it happens. Especially with Tommy, you know, when you go to see Halocene, Lauren Babick, and David Michael Frank, Just Joe Syracuse, and you're dealing with those artists, they're also YouTube people. So YouTube people have a tendency to talk to YouTube people. So they were all about me hanging out with them and stuff when I went to Portland, and we were going to do that in Houston as well, because they understand we have a similar content creativity thing going on. But when you're dealing with just artists from any music genre, you have to realize that you can't push yourself, and you don't want to do that because remember, we're coming off the pandemic. They've been traveling for 3 weeks. They have 3 more weeks to go. You don't know if they know who you are. You know that the record company is excited that you're going to see them, and they hope I have a good time, and they hope I have good things to say about it. But that's it. The difference between this situation and every other situation is Tommy reached out to me like a year ago. We reached out to each other from Instagram posts that we had made about each other's stuff. I was like the first reactor to react when he first started his YouTube channel. He started doing those Disney covers that everyone loves because they're really good. I would do reactions. I mean, like full reactions to that stuff. And I would give him the same placement that I would give Sabaton because he's really good at what he does. And he saw my reactions. He reached out and said, dude, thank you so much for da-da-da-da. And that started a conversation between the two of us. So much so that Tommy and I have had like crazy ideas, like we should go to a barbecue restaurant. Here's some of the ideas that Tommy and I have had in the last year. By the way, they're not practical, and we both knew they wouldn't happen, but these are some of the stupid ideas him and I have when we have conversations randomly throughout the year. We should go get barbecue together. We should do a reaction together, which was still a funny one. I need you to bring me all the Cajun hot sauces. I need you to bring me all the Texas hot sauces. We need to go to Buc-ee's. Like stuff that people talk about way before a tour is planned, way before a tour even happens, and way before anyone else is even involved, because we're just two guys talking. When Tommy's on the road, he is a member of the mega heavy metal band Sabaton from Sweden. So it's not just Tommy. There is Per, there's Joakim, there's Chris, there's Mr. Von Dahl, and then all of their support staff. Epica's there, all the venue people. There's so much production that goes on that there are very, very serious rules, and you have to follow the rules. So when I arrive in Houston, there are 3 things that I want to make sure I do. Number 1, you got to give respect to the artist, the venue, and the professionals putting on and remember, you're just a fan with a ticket. Number 2, no preconceived expectations. You can't go in there thinking, oh, well, I'm going to meet Tommy. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You cannot do that, because even on the road, Tommy isn't necessarily in control of his destiny, because he is responsible for the safety, welfare, and health of all the other team members, not just the bands, but production crew. And on the road, he has to take care of himself, because if he gets injured or he gets sick or whatever, or he misses a call time or a sound check time or whatever, it affects other people. So you have to respect that. Number 3, Tommy and I converse over an app that him and I have a personal relationship on. YouTube content creator to YouTube content creator. That's our relationship. At no point can I go up to any member of security or a staff or a road crew or anyone and go, hey, I know Tommy, where is he at? Or do you know where Tommy is? Can you go get Tommy? You don't do that, because if Tommy wants to talk to me and wants to converse with me and take time out of his personal time to spend with me or anyone else, that's his decision. And it can't be forced. And remember, all of you out there that are trying to get stuff signed and stuff done and remember, there are health and safety concerns, there's security concerns, there is timing, there's responsibility. And remember, any one member of any group, again, like I said before, is responsible for the health and safety of everyone around him. So at this point, I realized, if they went on a boat and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I may not get to see Tommy today. It may not happen, because there's a very good chance that Sabaton's management may literally have an entire day of events for them to do, and I don't want to cause any problems. You have to remember that, guys. It's very important to do that, okay? Remember that. So at this point, I'm thinking, I just interviewed the bus. Let me post that online because it was just stupid, because I love doing stupid things. And then something interesting happened. I posted that on Instagram. You guys probably saw it. It was on Instagram. It was pretty stupid. And as I turned around, there was this guy. And this guy's name is Daniel. And Daniel may see this video. And I got to tell you, Daniel, you are a super Sabaton fan. A young man from Costa Rica. He flew 1,400 miles from Costa Rica to Houston so he could see Sabaton. He had his urban camouflage pants, his combat boots, his Sabaton shirt. This dude was pumped with his Costa Rican flag. This is my conversation with Daniel. Hey everybody, my name is OldSkuleNerd, and we're outside of Sabaton's tour bus here in Houston, Texas, and I'm out here with Daniel. Now, I hope Tommy sees this, and Per, and all the guys, Joakim, you guys see this video. This guy came all the way from where? Costa Rica. From Costa Rica to see all of you here in Texas. Yeah. He came all the way from Costa Rica. That's like almost as far as y'all came. No, not really, but close. This is the Costa Rican flag. Daniel, is there anything you want to tell Sabaton?
Wow, yeah, Sabaton.
See, he's excited. All right, everybody. See you guys later. All right, so this is what happened. At this point in the afternoon, I'm thinking, you know what? Let's not make this about OldSkuleNerd. Let's not make this about Tommy. Let's not make this about, let's make it about Sabaton. But when you get to a venue as a content creator like me, I'll have an interview with an inanimate object, a bus. Why? Because it's good, funny content that's stupid and that makes people laugh sometimes. But then as I'm standing out on the sidewalk, Chelsea looks at me and she goes, all these people love this band so much, you should talk to them. Because I did realize that a lot of people go to Sabaton shows and they can yell and they have words and things they want to say to the band that they may not get a chance to meet the band and do that. But I have a platform here on YouTube where when I post a video and I hashtag Sabaton or hashtag Tommy Johansson, they see them. And this began a day that I can tell you 2 amazing things happened yesterday. One is I got to see Sabaton, and they are way better than advertised, way better than I thought. And I'll talk about that later. But I want to tell you this. When I finished talking to Daniel, my phone buzzes and I pick up my phone and Chelsea goes, hey, do you want to go around to the front of the venue and talk to some of the people that are in line? And I went, okay, let's do that. And then my phone buzzed and I picked up my phone. I open up my messenger, and I'm not joking. Tommy goes, "Are you still by the buses?" Yeah, I'm right here by the buses. Tommy saw my video of interviewing the bus. So Tommy arrives back at the venue and he's checking his Instagram because he does that. He loves the funny stuff on Instagram. And he sees this idiot, that fool right there, interview his bus. And he saw me interview Daniel. And he goes, "Are you still by the buses?" And I said, "I am." He goes, "I'm coming." Okay. I didn't ask him. He says, "I'm on the way." Wait, what did he say exactly? "I'm coming out now," I think he said. Yeah, something like that. So I'm coming out now. So he comes outside, he runs around the rail, and then this occurs. But here's the problem, okay? I'm 5'10", 5'11", depending upon what shoe I'm wearing. Tommy's not. Tommy's at least 6 foot tall, and he has long hair, and he's a beautiful specimen of a man. On a sidewalk, outside, middle of the day, with people arriving to see him on a stage. What started off as an idea, well, just watch. Hey everybody, my name is OldSkuleNerd, and I don't even know, this guy just walked up to me. I think he's like, "Are you begging for money? I've got no money for you."
Well, to be fair, I really don't have a place to stay except in a bus.
Yeah, true. This is Tommy Johansson. Some of you might know him as the greatest karaoke player on the planet Earth. It's true.
Thanks.
Well, didn't you like win awards for that?
Swedish Championship 2009, yeah.
See, you think I don't know stuff? I know things. Nothing about history, but I know this man. Thank you, guys. Hey, look, I met a guy named Daniel.
Hey,
right here. He flew 1,400 miles to be here from Costa Rica.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. Look, those guys. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
All right, so thank you so much for coming to America.
Yeah, thanks.
I finally get to meet you.
Yeah, I get to meet you too.
And
fantastic, thanks.
This is Tommy Johansson. He's got to go.
Hey.
He's so busy.
Yeah.
I mean, if Paris sees you out here just meandering, he's gonna yell.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta go. Bye.
Bye. Hey everybody,
Okay, so how not to do an interview with a very easily recognizable metal star. Tommy just comes around the corner of the truck, comes on the public side of the railing, and he just grabs me. Now, when you are hugged by a Swedish man that large, two things. Number one, you don't expect it. And number two, it is soft and cuddly, like the most amazing Swedish Build-A-Bear you've ever felt. Like, I felt more love from his hug than hugs from my own father as a child. True. But no, he grabs me, gives me this big giant bear hug, and we start talking, and then we see people literally start to come up from everywhere because they see him. And at that time, he's like, "Let's do a quick thing." And I'm like, okay, so we tried to do this. But of course, as soon as we start talking, I mentioned Daniel, who I just interviewed, and people are pulling up in cars screaming at Tommy. And he's like, hey, he's trying to be cool, but there's a lot of people. So I kind of cut the interview short, said, look, he's super busy. He's got to go. Da-da-da-da-da. Now, what you guys don't know is when he said, gotta go, boy, and he jumps, we cut the video, and then him and I went around to the side of the truck and we talked a little bit. And he told me what they had done that day. This is cool. On the new album, okay, The Great War, as you know, as Joakim likes to say, The Great War, okay? Did you guys know that Pear's, the bass player Pear, also the history nut of the band, we love him for that. His favorite song on the new album is Dreadnought. Didn't know that, did you? His second favorite is Christmas Truce, but his favorite song on the album is Dreadnought. And when they arrived in Houston, there was one thing that Pear had been thinking about for weeks. In Houston, there's something very special. And I know you guys are thinking barbecue, cowboys, you know, guns, all that's true. But in Houston, in a little area called San Jacinto State Park, there is the Battleship Texas. It's still there. Now, the Battleship Texas was built in the turn of the 20th century, around the time of World War I, and it is a dreadnought battleship. And the Texas is still there, and it was undergoing a refit, which means it was in dry dock, and they were doing a restoration on it because she was getting a little problematic. She's over 100 years old. So it was too good of an opportunity to have your favorite song on your album and have one of the few remaining in the world dreadnoughts right there. American dreadnought. Now, there are a few in the UK, and there's some that are museums in other places, but the USS Texas is one of the last remaining United States dreadnoughts that's still afloat that you can go and check out. So when they said they put them on a boat, so they loaded all the guys up into a passenger van, drove them out to San Jacinto to the state park. They went to the dry dock. Now, normally you can't go on a ship that's in dry dock. It's not open to the public. It's in dry dock. I mean, it's the ship is, the draft of the ship is literally 43 feet. So from the deck to the bottom of the dry dock is like 46, 47 feet. If you fall, you could die. So they don't allow people just to visit. But because Sabaton is so historically focused, and they do a song called Dreadnought, and they do a song called The Bismarck, the people of the park actually know who the band are. They know that there's a song called Dreadnought, and there's a sports team in Houston called the Texas Dreadnoughts, you see. So when they get there, Per and the Sabaton management team and the promoter and all those other people, they get together, and the amazing people at the Battleship Texas arrange for them to come on board and get a tour of the vessel. So automatically, Per's having the best day ever for himself. But as you can see, Tommy's got a little bit of sun because it was a very bright, sunny day. So he had just gotten back. I know that he needed to eat. He needed to go through his pre-production checks, check with his guitar tech, all the stuff he normally does on a regular concert day. And they just drove up. So they were starving and everything else. So we talked about a few things. We talked about how excited he was, how great it was to meet him, and da-da-da-da. Chelsea gave him a big hug, and we're just talking a little bit, but I said, look, dude, you got to go eat. He goes, I do. He would have stayed there all day if I wouldn't have said, dude, you've got things you got to do. Remember, very important for me not to interrupt his day, not to take him away from the things that everyone else needs of him. Remember, it's very important. So he takes off to go do his stuff. And he says, I'm going to get with you. I'm going to message you as soon as I'm done eating. And then we're going to do some more stuff. I'm like, cool. Awesome. Well, I had these Sabaton license plates made. Now, you guys know that on my wall behind me, I have every license plate that's an Old School Nerd license plate with the name and logo of every band that I go see. And if the band will sign it, it's awesome. It goes on the wall. I brought two. Because I told you guys back in May that we were doing a giveaway for Sabaton. You remember the code word Tommy game? Where we reacted to a Sabaton video, and everyone who lasted all the way to the end of the song, I gave you guys a special code word. You guys remember what the code word was, right? Tommy. And a lot of you jumped on Discord and typed in Tommy, and we did pick a name, and the gentleman is from Canada. He's an older gentleman. He's never seen Sabaton live. He has all of their albums. Super Sabaton fan, loves every video. He lives kind of remote, so the odds of him seeing Sabaton, not great. So when we picked him and he told me his story, I was like, you are the perfect guy for this. Sir, this one is yours. And it's signed by all the members of Sabaton. So you actually have something from Sabaton that only you have. Well, you and me, we each have one. But this is from Sabaton to you. Thank you for being an awesome Sabaton fan. But Tommy was going to try to get things signed, but more importantly, I was like, dude, I'm not worried about that so much as the fact that you look like you're about to sunburn and you need to eat. So go do your thing. If you have time, just shoot me a message. I'll be out here talking to the amazing fans. Okay. Now, at that point, I'm thinking, whether or not I see Tommy again, I met the man, I got a hug. That's all that matters. But everything else that happens after this blew me away. Okay. Tommy leaves. Okay. He does leave. Okay. Now, you see this little guy right here? See how adorable he is? Okay. He comes walking up the sidewalk and Chelsea goes, oh my God, he's so cute. And that's his dad, Ricky, right? So they walk up and I was like, dude, are you taking your son to see Sabaton? And he's like, yeah. Is this his first concert? He's like, yeah. I was like, could I interview you guys for content? I was like, I'm trying to make all these videos from the fans of Sabaton so I can show Sabaton how much their fans love them here in Texas. He's like, absolutely. So this is what happens. Let me back it up to Tommy's silly ass. This is Tommy jumping. Great, stop, Tommy. That's awesome. Watch this.
All right. Bye. Hey, everybody. My name is OldSkuleNerd. This is Jude. Jude, how old are you? He's pretty much 8. Okay, and this is Dad, Ricky's super dad. Back in 1984, my dad took me to my first concert to see Van Halen. This is Jude's first concert ever. He gets to see Sabaton.
Yeah.
You excited, Jude? Is your dad not the greatest dad ever? This guy, yeah, he is. All right, everybody. Hey, Joakim, Tommy, Pear, Mr. Von Dahl, and Chris, this is Jude. You're his first concert ever.
All the way to Texas. We love you guys.
There you go. We'll see you guys later. Hey, everybody. My name is OldSkuleNerd.
That's not the same family. It's not. And I'm letting you know now, for the next 2 hours, we saw parents, dads, moms with kids of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, teenagers. I've never seen this many young people with their parents coming to their first ever metal show. That's the kind of outreach that Sabaton has, because the kids are into the history. They're into the battleships. They're into the heroes, and their parents are into the metal. Sabaton really is something special for families, which is something we all need now. I mean, there's a lot of metal bands that are family friendly, but Sabaton is something unique. And it's not just little boys. I saw a little girl come up, I mean, decked out, had a helmet on her head. Okay. Legit. She looked bad. So, yeah. So that was Jude. His dad was Ricky. He was, essentially 8. This right here. Okay. So you have Titus and Seguin. Titus and Seguin are the names of 2 towns in Texas. Want to guess what their dad's name is? Watch this.
Hey, everybody. My name is OldSkuleNerd. This is Seguin, and this is Titus. This is their dad, Austin. Okay? Of course. These 2 guys, it's their first ever concert ever, and they're going to see Sabaton tonight. So how old are you?
I'm 8.
He's actually 8.
I'm 10.
He's 10. So their first concert is going to be Sabaton. So hey, Tommy, Joakim, Pear, Mr. Von Dahl, and of course Chris. These are your super Sabaton fans right here. This is the super dad Austin for bringing his kids to see Sabaton. You guys have a great show. We'll see you later.
All right. That's Tommy post food. Okay. So, right here, see that young man right here? Okay. In the background, that's him and his dad. This kid is the kid back there, right here behind me. This guy right there. Okay. Asher. Him and his dad have come to see Sabaton. Asher has a baseball hat. It's his favorite hat. He never takes it off. He loves everything Sabaton. He can quote you the songs. He can quote you the history. He loves the Sabaton History Channel. He loves the Sabaton channel. and he's never gotten to see them. And this was his chance to see him, and his dad brought him. And Chelsea was holding these license plates in her hand, and he's like, dude, those are cool. Could I get one? Are they selling those? No, they're not. And he was standing there, and he had his hat, and he had a marker that he hoped that he could get one of the members of Sabaton to sign. And I said, give me your hat. He goes, what? Give me your hat. Don't ask. I need the hat and the pin. He goes, okay. So have your dad give Chelsea his information. I'll message you after the show. Tommy is done eating, and I give him the license plates. He's like, dude, I would love to do these. Now, all the other things that Tommy and I have dreamed about doing, reactions, eating barbecue, all that stuff, that will happen. It's just not going to happen on this tour. I've already told him, we're like, dude, Chelsea and I need to come to Sweden when you're there in some off time, maybe when you're recording your regular stuff. And you and I need to bring food. I'm going to ship some stuff to you. And Chelsea and I, after this concert, have said, we have to go to Sweden, and we need to see Sabaton in Sweden. Because you have to do that. Once you see them live, you want to see them live in Sweden, because it's nuts, right? So this is Tommy when he's done eating before he goes to get ready for the show.
Sabaton, you guys have a great show. We'll see you later. Hey everybody, my name is OldSkuleNerd. We're going to try this again without everybody screaming. This is Tommy Johansson, the greatest Swedish metal cover artist that I've ever seen or heard or met. Is that true?
I don't know how many of them you've met, but
okay, so here's the thing. He's got a YouTube channel called Tommy Johansson. Not to be confused with Leo Maracchioli. That guy's Norwegian. Anyway. Probably Studios. See, you're the man, you knew. Oh, okay, so he's about to pass me up on YouTube. The only reason I can think of that is, all I do is react to you. He actually has talent, and he's pretty. So again, thank you for sharing what you do. Because, I mean, you do some of the best metal covers of not only just songs, but you're the only guy I know that does Disney.
Well, Disney rules. Everybody loves Disney. Few people dare to admit that they love Disney, but everybody does. Okay. Well, you love Disney.
Oh, I've gone to Disney 43 times.
There you go.
Okay, so here's the thing. You gotta go, because they did a whole bunch today. Epica's on stage right now. This man's gotta go just melt faces, because that's what he does. We're gonna go watch him. Before you have to go, is there anything you want to tell my community that absolutely loves you and Sabaton?
I want to say thank you for watching OldSkuleNerd. I've seen so many of his videos. For me, it's an honor to be here with this guy. He's doing a great job, and thanks for supporting him as well. Thanks for supporting me, but thanks for supporting him. Continue to watch his videos. Continue to watch him react to all the crazy stuff people do on YouTube, like me, for example. So thank you, everyone. All right. Stay metal, stay Swedish, or stay whatever country you come from, and have a great time.
Nashville, 2 days. He's gonna come see you.
See you in Nashville.
Peace. So many awesome people. You ready?
Okay.
Hey everybody, my name is Old.
Okay, so I'm letting you know now that this little video right here is really super important. And I'm just kind of, I know I'm just playing all the footage, just kind of clear, but okay. So the concert, we go in, we watch the concert. Okay. Sabaton's music is amazing. Sabaton's History Channel and their music videos are phenomenal. We've all seen videos of the live concert events at Wacken and some of their live shows at different festivals and the Great Tour, and whenever they all these amazing live performances. To all of you who've went to those, you know what I'm about to say. If you have never seen Sabaton live, then you don't understand Sabaton. You don't. You can appreciate it. You can enjoy it, but you don't get it until you've seen them live. Now, we're fortunate enough that we got to see them live in Texas. The crowd was bananas, okay? And they were nuts. They were super patriotic. There were Texas chants, USA chants, Sabaton chants, a lot of Swedish, oh, oh. Yeah, they did that nonstop the whole time. Super excited show. Here's the thing, Epica tore it up. Simone Simmons, top 5 female vocalists, period. And it's evident, even live, you're like, holy crap. There's a reason why all these other metal vocalists, you can list the different ladies of heavy metal vocal, they go, Simone Simmons is the best. And they'll tell you right then and there. So Epica leaves, Sabaton comes out, they start Ghost Division, and Chelsea's just, and I'm just, there's something about the interaction of the people with Joakim, with Per, with Chris, with Tommy, and even Mr. Van Dahl. There was one part where Mr. Van Dahl is on his drum set, all the other guys run off. He's up there, he's talking to the crowd, welcome Houston, da-da-da-da, how you doing? What do you want us to play? You know, come on. All right, so we're going to do a little disco one. Here's Dancing Queen from ABBA. It wasn't Dancing Queen from ABBA, but still, it was funny. And the crowd had the chance. This little guy right here, this is the last interview, the last video of this iteration. This is, this little guy was on his dad's shoulders the whole show. And I could see him in the crowd. In the crowd. Now, talking about the crowd, they interacted with everything that Tommy did, everything Per did, everything Chris did, everything Joakim did, of course. But the pit got a little rowdy at times, but when they got to Swedish Pagans, the entire pit dropped on the floor. They all sat one behind another and started rowing the Viking boat during Swedish Pagans. I'm not kidding. It was good stuff. How many guitar picks can actually be stuck on Joakim's head? We know that the answer to that is at least 5 because Chris and Tommy decided, you know what, Joakim's sweating already. Stick, 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 stick. They stuck guitar picks all over his head during Bismarck. Little things like that really made the concert special. Per got to talk to the people of Texas, told the people of Texas, thank you for letting Sabaton come to Texas and visit the battleship Texas. You could tell he was super excited about the fact they got to see that battleship. Every song was an adventure. Every emotion was fulfilled. Now, after the concert, of course, a bunch of people run outside and they start gathering around the security barricades to see the buses. There was one young man that I saw out there. Now, Tommy was able to slide me off to the side of one of the trucks to tell Chelsea and I bye, gave us big hugs. His hair was still wet. He had just gotten out of the shower. By the way, Tommy uses Herbal Essences shampoo for all the ladies who want to know that. He smells a delight. It's a wonderful smell. But anyway, so his hair's still wet. He's like, here's my stuff. I got to go back. Thank you so much, dude. You're amazing, Tommy. The time that you gave to me and to Chelsea, we are beyond belief, the graciousness you have. And to all the members of Sabaton for signing the plate for the contest winner and to be able to put it up on the board. It's our honor. And thank you for putting out such amazing music. This one little guy named Vance. Vance is a very young man, very young. Vance, can you guess who his favorite singer is? This was a Sabaton color that he did of a tank, drew the trees himself. He wanted to give it to Joakim. Here's the problem. The little man needed to pee, and he needed to pee bad. So his parents were worried that if they took him to go pee, that would be the point when Joakim would come out and he wouldn't be able to give Joakim that. And I said, look, I don't know when Mr. Joakim's going to come out, but if we make a video and you show him this, at least he'll see this. And he's like, are you sure? I said, dude, if I post this on Instagram and I let Tommy know to check it out, pretty sure Joakim's going to see it. He was pumped. So I'm going to end this Sabaton day. Chelsea and I left the venue at 12:30 at night. We got home at 3:30 in the morning. It's Sunday. I'm still barely waking up, and I want to make sure I get this out to you today. I'm gonna play the end of this video, and then it's gonna end. But before I say that, to the people of Houston, thank you for having us. To the venue staff at the Bayou Music Center, holy cow, amazing service, super sweet people, not a single frown, all smiles, great vendors, great people. The attendants were awesome. The gate people, security, everyone could not be better. The security backstage, they had a very hard job to do, and they were professional the entire time. They knew that I was standing out on the sidewalk all day interviewing people, and they said, are you trying to come back? I was like, no, I'm not trying to do anything. Thank you. But you know, because they saw Tommy come talk to me, and they were like, are you part of the? No, I'm a friend of Tommy's. And they're like, okay, cool. And they were super awesome about the fact that Tommy wanted to talk to me and I was talking to Tommy, but they knew that I was, you know, I'm back here on the sidewalk behind the line. You guys do your thing. Thank you so much. They were awesome. To the road crew for Sabaton, good luck, safe travels, great job. To Epica, holy cow, there's nothing more beautiful than the heavy metal and symphonic sound that you do, and Miss Simone Simmons' voice had everyone just going. To Mr. Von Dahl, a funny thing happened. Chelsea's watching you play, and you're on that tank, and your set is huge, and you got the screen behind you, and she's like, I can't imagine what it's like to be on that tank and just the experience of all that. I mean, what it must be like to have that kind of life. And I went, well, when he goes home, he's married to someone that's pretty epic too. And then I told her who it was, and she's like, oh, well, yeah, I guess he's kind of used to epic things happening to him all the time. Chris, super awesome and funny. Excellent on your guitar. Nobody has more fun with the crowd than Chris, period. You'd think it was Joakim, but Joakim is Joakim. I'm the lead singer of Sabaton. We play heavy metal from Sweden. But Chris is kind of sneaky ninja like that, and it's awesome. Pear, you are Santa Claus year round. That smile, dude. When you see Pear jump up on the monitor, and he looks up, and you see his smile from 100 feet away, you're like, that's only the kind of joy that I have at Christmas. That dude is Santa year round. To Mr. Joakim, these kids dress up like you for a reason. You are their hero. And it brings a tear to my eye because so many kids see Joakim and they're just like, you're like G.I. Joe for this year's generation. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you make them believe. And that's important. To Tommy, well, you know, Tommy. So I want to play this video. This is the last little guy. He needed to pee. He could barely stand up. He was doing this. He had to pee. But he knew that if he went go pee, he'd miss the chance to show Joakim that color that he did. So I'm going to end this video. I'm going to move out the way. Okay? And I want you guys to love one another. Take care of each other. We're all stuck on this mud ball together. Oh my God, why am I crying? I guess I'm crying because of the kids. You guys do this for kids. With all the other horrible things that kids see these days, you guys put smiles on kids' faces. This is Vance. I'm gonna go.
Hey everybody, my name is OldSkuleNerd, and we're outside after the Sabaton show here in Houston, Texas, and this is Vance. Hey Joakim, this is your best buddy right here. He was on his dad's shoulders the whole show. You're his favorite singer. I'm sorry, that's a lie. It's actually Tommy, but he paid me to say it's you. You want to tell Sabaton something, Vance? Go up there and tell the camera.
You're a great singer.
She says you're a great singer. Well, Vance, was that your first concert?